Hello guys, back again, and this time we're going to talk about Mad Catz iOS 7 Gamepad, the C.T.R.L.I. Simply one of the dumbest names for a gamepad as far as I'm concerned, but nevertheless, I'm sure they mean something. But basically, it is a Bluetooth-enabled dual analog gamepad. Basically, that's what it is for iOS 7 devices. Now, basically, if you look at this gamepad, if you check the link from the article below, this thing looks exactly to me like an original Xbox controller. Exactly. Go look at an original Xbox controller, because I can't call it an Xbox One anymore. The original Xbox, this controller to me looks exactly the same. But if you don't believe that, it is the exact same shell to Mad Catz Mojo Micro console that nobody probably played. But it's the exact same shell, except it has spring-loaded mount. That's it. I mean, it's basically the same thing. It does support current and future iOS devices, and this thing will hit retail in April for $80, which to me seems a little bit high for a controller. A controller that looks a lot like an old controller. This is my thing with controllers and gamepads that has kind of bothered me for a while. If you take like the 360 and the PS3 for example, the original controllers made by the console manufacturers, the price never went down. I get that is an iOS device, okay? More than likely, probably iPads are going to play this. Not that you couldn't play on your iPhone, it's for iOS 7 devices. But just because I bought that does not mean I want to pay $80 for a flipping controller. This is my thing. If you're starting in a market where there's not a lot of controllers or there's no new controllers, the first thing you need to do is make it at a price point that is accessible for everybody who has one. Just because you bought an iPad, and yes, iPads are not cheap, that does not mean I'm going to want to or can afford to go out and spend $80 for a controller. But ultimately, the test of this controller is how well will it actually work with the system. If it works really good, and they can get the price down over time, maybe people will buy it. I don't know how many people who have an iPad are going to rush out to get this controller. So that's my question to you. Are you interested in getting this controller for your iOS device? Do you even want a controller with your iOS device? Don't get me wrong. The touchscreen controls on the iOS devices and mobile stuff in general has gotten a lot better. I was playing Iron Tank the other day on the iPad, and the controls are pretty good for being touch. But if you are interested in getting a gamepad or controller for it, what price point would you want it to be at? Were you willing to pay $80 for it? You guys, love to hear your opinion, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Later.